Hi guys, let's talk a little bit more about the Chris Watts latest on his third confession. Now guys, I knew there was another one coming. There has to be. And there'll probably be another one coming. Now, we all know he is getting information by the public. His mother, his father, whoever visits him, that lady's writing the book. Now, she's giving him all the updates, what people are saying, and they're, like we all have our theories, what happened, and we're not far wrong. And he believes his murdered daughters visited him and danced for him in his prison cell. Yes, guys. And he had a phone conversation with his dead wife. Now, can you believe that one? Oh, yeah. But he won't submit to a psychiatric testing because, guys, he doesn't believe that he is mentally ill. No. He don't believe he's mentally ill. Well, he ain't all there though, is he? Now, we know that he has wrote a book. Or, that lady that comes and visits him, Sherilyn Kendall, the author of the book, and with the interviews, an explosive book. I don't know who's going to buy it. Well, of course, there's people going to buy it because we're intrigued by what's he going to say next and how is he coming up with these stories. We all know the first story and we said that is correct, that's the right story, that he strangled them, smothered them, how you want to say it, in their rooms. Well, he changed that story and said that didn't happen, and he smothered them in the truck. Well, now he's gone back and said that he smothered them or in their rooms, but this was while Shanann was in the home, because apparently he had drugged her. And we all thought he might have done something to her because we wondered why she didn't fight back. And he doesn't exactly say what time this happened, but he apparently did this while she was in bed. Now, I don't know what time that was. I'd like to know is when did he give her the drugs? How did he give her the drugs? Did he make her a drink? Did he make her a drink, her favorite drink, and she drank it, and she started to feel sick again, drowsy. She's already tired, and with oxycodone. Now, I don't know how he crushed them up and got him inside her. I don't know. But anyway, there's the medication coming up, and that is what he said he gave her, because apparently he said that was in her system when they did the autopsy. This is coming from him. And he also says, he went back to his argument with Shanann, because, apparently they're arguing. But the thing is, she's in the bed, and he goes and smothers the children. Well, we all said, that most of us said, well, there's a baby monitor there. But you know what? She may have seen what he was doing on the baby monitor. But couldn't do nothing about it. Because if she's in bed, and apparently she's not sleeping because he said he goes back and continues the argument. Now, did she see something and she couldn't move? What would make her not be able to function and move? Was she tied up? Was she tied up? As soon as he made her drowsy, he tied her up? Don't know. I'm just putting it out there. But now I'm a little bit more convinced that if this is a true story, this is, if, that she couldn't move, it's because she was tied up. Oh yeah, tied up somehow. And maybe he gagged her. Yeah, so she couldn't scream or anything. So he says he smothered them, come back, and continued the argument. Emotional discussion, so he says in the first interviews. And then this is where he says he continued the conversation, and this is where she passed away. He didn't say, oh, this is when I killed her. No, he said that's when she passed. And the reason why he knew she had passed was because she, she lost her bowels and urinated. And this is when he knew she was gone. Passed. And I'm like, oh, Lottie, you mean you killed her? But he also said before that he looked into her eyes, and they were all bloodshot. One minute he said he didn't see nothing, but another time he said that her eyes were all bloodshot. But just after that, he was going to wrap her up and everything. Suddenly, the kids came in the room. Oh, not one kid now. It's both of them. Yeah, it's both of them now. They woke up and come back from the dead. Yes, guys. Because he thought he had smothered them. But they came in and their eyes looked, black and everything. And they come back to life. Yes, guys. They come back to life and they were running around. What's wrong with mommy? What's wrong with mommy? And, I don't know what the kids were doing or saying, but, because we only have his word for it. 1 minute, the kids were playing around. The other one's a bit more emotional, Bella, because she kind of knows what's going on. Or she knew, he smothered her, and she knew what he had just done to her in her sleep. But who's to say? We're saying that he drugged the kids. We're saying that, we said that a long time ago, that we think he drugged the kids. Given too much medication. The medication that they would get to help them sleep. He gave them a little bit too much. And we don't really know what's in the autopsies, what they really found. Really. At this time. But it might not have been enough to be in their system, especially they had been in oil. So it was hard to determine maybe on that. But I'm thinking he probably gave them a little bit extra. And so he says he killed his babies twice. Now he's killed them twice. I don't know what this man is trying to do. But each story comes out, the story gets worse. It gets worse. Now, he said he's not mentally ill, but maybe he wasn't really that mentally ill when he went into prison. But I think it's getting to him now. Oh, yeah, because he's seeing ghosts. In fact, he sees ghosts. He said his place was like a ghost town. the day he said they went missing. It was like a ghost town. So, yeah. And we all know how that went, whoever's listening to this case. We all heard his story on the porch of his house, claiming to be worried about his wife and children gone missing. But we knew his story was far-fetched and didn't add up, and it was true, Now he has other dreams that Cece was dancing next to the chair in my cell. When she was dancing, all of my folders on the chair started moving. They started moving. Then I woke up. I'm hoping she comes back. I hope everyone comes to visit me. He also claimed that he felt darkness on him for weeks before murdering his wife and 2 daughters last August in Frederick, Colorado. For weeks. But we are hearing that he planned this for weeks. He was planning it for weeks. So it's not a spur of the moment. That Sunday night, he was planning it, and it was gonna go down at the right time. So he thought. But you know what? It all went wrong, didn't it? It all went wrong. Or did it? Or did it? That was his plan. I don't know what his plan was. But we've all seen the flowers, the sunflowers in the field and everything. And those flowers meant something to him and NK. Because he sent a picture, like, job's done, kind of thing. Do you know what I mean? Because she liked sunflowers. But if he says he was giving his wife these pills, oxy pills, and this is why, Shanann was saying she felt dizzy, lightheaded every time she stood up, she felt sick, nauseated, and she was probably putting it down to her pregnancy. And it seems to be every time that maybe he offered to make her a drink or something or whatever, because apparently all the time she was in the Carolinas, she was feeling good up until the time he came. And she started getting the sickness again. Now, we're probably, a lot of us are thinking he was trying to abort the baby, which could have been true, but I don't know, maybe he was using the wrong medication, for that. But as we know, she used to go to the doctor. I don't know how often she went to the doctor and took any blood from her or urine samples. But I was just wondering why that wouldn't show up. Why it wouldn't show up if you're taking some oxys. Because that is a heavy, potent drug. And you would only take it for extreme cases. So, I don't know why that didn't show up. So, I just believe his story is a load of crap. That part, I don't know, maybe he was giving her something, I don't know. But Chris Watts said that was in the autopsy results, that's why it was in her system. Because he gave it to her. Did he give it to her? I don't know. But oxys do cost a lot of money. You just can't get them off your doctor for no reason. Now, a long time ago, I said, was he on drugs? Was he on drugs? Yeah, was he taking any kind of drugs? And now we're thinking, yeah, maybe he was. But where, they had no money. So I don't know where he would find all this money to get these pills. And who got them for him? Where would he have got them from? Off the street? Off the street? But also he had to have money. And it seems like his wife was, he didn't have much pocket money. You know, she kept an eye on the money. But maybe he was always on some kind of drugs. And that's why, another reason why she took care of the money. Don't know. Don't know how often he had a drug test at work. You know, doing the job he did, you would think they would do maybe random drug testing or, I don't know, you know, because they got such an important job that is a very dangerous job. But anyway, I was just thinking about that. He also says in this book that that before the killings, he never thought of demonic things before or felt there was a demon possession. Yeah, I think he did. Yeah, because remember, there was a video of him and Shannon, and he was at the back, and we was thinking, he looks like he wants to put his hands around her and strangle her. He looks like he's looking at her like, ooh, ooh. And he didn't look like he wanted to be there, but he stood there behind her, and he looked like he wanted to strangle her right there and then, which that's what he did. So you go back and look at that video, it's just looking like it was really true what he was thinking. But you know, people are telling him what we're saying on these YouTube videos and the news, and what we're suggesting may have happened, and now he's coming up with the story. Oh yeah, that sounds good. He's sitting in his jail 24/7 thinking, what could be the worst story I could tell? What's gonna disgust us the most? He already knew his second story was disgusting, but now he's making it more disgusting. Now, he's trying to stay in the light. Yeah, he needs to go in the dark. That's all I say. And in the book, she says, actually, Watts is actually aware of his fame. This is what Kendall says. He's aware of his fame. Yeah, we all know that. And the reason why we know that is because people are letting him know, family, letters, and jail people are writing him letters from jail and telling him, you know, what to do, what to say, giving him ideas. Yeah, because the idiot's just gonna do it. I don't know if they're trying to help him or trying to make him look worse, because he thinks he's going to be up for some kind of parole, and now he's hoping that he will get sent to another state where they are starting to release people after 25 years. For whatever reason, they're full, you know, or they just do that. Now, he's already saying, you know, if I get out, I'm going to do good, and I'm going to come back to the prison and preach. Oh, yeah. But this is a dream. This is a dream, you know. And no prison where he goes to is going to let him out of prison any time soon. In fact, he'll probably only come out of that prison in a pine box. So he's delusional. Yeah, that's what he is. So he already knows about his fame, and a lot of people are still talking about the case and very intrigued about this guy. And so is everybody, because, Colorado investigations are like, they've never seen nothing like it. Nothing like him. I can't believe that, because not all murders are, no good. But what I'm saying is, there's people that killed, they didn't plan it. Do you know what I mean? They didn't plan it. But, they're still a murderer. Do you know what I mean? You can't say nothing else. They're still a murderer, no matter how you say it. Now, I don't know who's giving him hope. H-O-P-E. Somebody is giving him hope. Now, there's people that believe in God and believe if you confess all your sins, that it will do you good. Oh yeah. But he's not confessing all his sins. He's making up a story as it goes. Now, these people that are writing these books and telling a tell-all, we don't even know if they're writing true facts. Fictional. It's in his head. It's in his head. Now, he's a liar. Nothing but a liar. And we don't believe what he says anymore. We believe he's probably telling half-truths. Yeah. He's telling half the truth. But it's not quite in the order that he's saying it. We'll go back to how it first happened. I think is more, I was thinking that he had killed at least one child in that house. But Bella was the hardest. Maybe because she knew better, she was fighting for her life, or he just had more of a connection with Bella, and it was harder for him. He was going to do it, but it was harder. And then another thing he says about when he got to the oil field, Survey, that he got Shanann out of the truck and put her over by where he dug the hole. And then he comes back and does that right away. Who does that? Anybody could come. Anybody could come there. Anybody could be flying by. Or people got drones these days. You don't even know what's about in the sky. He wasn't afraid. And then he took them up, to the oil. And he says he's amazed how easy they just went in, just put my foot on him. He was amazed how easy they just flopped, and I could hear the oil splash. Yeah, he says he's amazed how easy it was. If this guy ain't sick, I don't know what. Because he just hasn't got any remorse. Where's the remorse? There's no remorse. He's writing this book, but there's no remorse there. No, he's just going on like it's another day. Yeah, it's just another day in the neighborhood. In Dodge. Yeah, in Waupun, Wisconsin. Just another day. He likes all this attention. He likes all this attention. This is why I feel maybe we should just stop talking about him, because I know we all keep talking about him. But this has to die down soon. It has to die down soon. It's only been a year, which is not long. So, it's going to die down very soon. Because now, here's the third story. Here's the third confession. Here's a few more details, gruesome details, which he thinks that we want to hear, which we don't want to hear. Because there's nothing he can say to convince us any other way. But one thing we do know is that this man is a liar. But how long has he been a liar? He tells us what a good liar he was in the past and got away with it. Yes. So he's probably always been a liar. Yeah. But you see, he's so smart. He's so smart. He knows what to do, what to say. And and these things about his memory, he tells us what a very good memory he has. And believe me, he has a good memory. So, he's a liar. That's all he is. And his delusional mind thinking that he is going to get out of prison. Yeah. He talks about several different prisons. Now, somebody's putting this in his head. But you know what? He's not going anywhere. And if he does, he's going to serve the rest of his life in prison. Now, it's partly his fault for pleading guilty. He could have had a trial, but he chose to waive it. Now, we know probably it would have been the same outcome. But the thing is, he would have had to, the more details would have came out. The prosecutor, the detectives, they would have made a case. So we would have heard a lot more details. But he wanted to tuck those details away and save them for a rainy day. Like now. What he's doing now. And I don't know where the proceeds are going for this book, but somebody's making money. The company that is releasing this book, the person that wrote the book, and I bet you the money's going to his parents, and in turn the money is going to him. Yeah, to put on his books. Yeah. They're not gonna be here all his life. Well, they might be, but I doubt it. And they're gonna have to have a little bit of money put aside. And that's probably where his sister comes in. She's probably gonna send him a little bit of money, just enough to put on his books. And make sure he's got a little bit of money for his snacks. And maybe, buy people, and for stamps and writing materials and things like that. Yeah. See, these plans are made way in advance. They're thinking of his future, not his appeals, because he cannot get an appeal. And now he's wrote the book and made another confession. Even if by, a miracle, that he gets an appeal over, you know, for something, he's already told his story. It'll be used against him. So, you know, he's digging himself a bigger hole. And that's how I see it. He has also said, despite being sentenced to 5 life sentences without the possibility of parole, Watts told Kendall he doesn't believe he's a murderer. No, he doesn't believe he's a murderer and strives to maintain a good guy image in hopes he might someday be released on good behavior. How about that one? Yeah, he's delusional. Now, somebody's putting these thoughts into his head. Now, might be his mother, his parents. I don't know if they're saving up their money for a lawyer for him. I think they'd be wasting their money. He pled guilty. It was his decision, and now he's sorry for doing that. He is sorry because even if he had been found guilty and sent to prison for life, he would have got eligible for parole, or he wasn't going to get it. But he's thrown that away. See, there was options that he could appeal. See, he's got no appeals, and he's not ever gonna get out on parole. So we all said he made that mistake, and plus we wanted to hear all the details, what happened. But we're never gonna know what story is true. Now, there's one thing he did say about the baby. I do believe that he said that things would have been okay if it wasn't for this baby. Now, it comes down to the baby that he didn't want the baby. And remember, he came into that room and she said, "Whoops, we did it again." You could see all over his face. He goes, "Oh God, that was quick." You know, he never thought it would happen so fast. Well, it's his fault too. You know, it takes 2 to tango. And he didn't think she could get pregnant that fast because of the problems they had with the other 2. You know. But, you know, it does take 2. But, you know, we don't know if it was when he met that Nicole that things started changing. And we don't know. And all the texts that we heard about is that Shanann wrote to her friends that he will never get the kids. He will never get the kids. She said stuff like that, and that's probably really hurt his feelings. She threatened him with the kids. She threatened him with his parents not seeing the kids, and I'll take every penny from you. You know, whatever she was saying. Do you know what I mean? We don't know what she was saying, but we do know what she was saying to her friends in text. She seemed to be the type of woman that told her friends everything about her sexual life. And he knew that, see? And maybe he didn't like people, you know, telling your friends everything that we do in our bedroom. Do you know what I mean? But, you know, in a way it's a good thing because it came back to haunt him. But I do think it came down to the pregnancy and another baby, and he wanted a separation. I think deep down he wanted a separation. He wanted a divorce deep down in the past. But as the weeks went on, he got angry, he got resentment, he got trapped, and they're broke. They're broke. Okay, he's never got no money. he's to have an allowance of kind of a thing, allowance, and his money was just gone. As fast as he got paid, the money was gone, and they were in debt up to their eyeballs. And of course they sent their kid to a private school which they couldn't afford. I mean, it's just piling up. No excuse for murder, but it was all piling up. And every person has a breaking point. But, you know, sometimes you gotta get divorced and take the consequences and just ride it out until they are of age. I mean, he would have still seen the kids, even if she went back to the Carolinas and he stayed in Colorado. I mean, he still would have had the children, and he could have made that arrangements before she went. It took him to court and made sure they got a court order for visitation and stuff like that. He could have sorted it out. He could have, but he didn't. And now he's in prison for the rest of his life. But he thinks he's getting out. You know what I mean? If he be's a good little boy, he could be let out early. Now, like I said, somebody has put that in his head. That's all I got to say on that one. So guys, let's have your comments and let's have a discussion. At the end of the video, leave your comments, and don't forget to like, sub to my channel if you like my videos, and share, and press the notification bell, and so you can be notified when I upload another video. And thank you guys for stopping by.